is WCCB News Edge with Morgan Fogarty on Charlotte's CW.
America takes one big step toward athletic equality. How a group of elementary school kids are bringing new meaning to the phrase, "You play ball like a girl."
He told WCCB in Charlotte, quote, "I say this with the most humility that I don't think nobody has ever been who I'm trying to be."
Remember WCCB Charlotte's interview with Cam Newton a week ago? Well, today the networks picked it up, and their comments for Cam are less than kind. Do you agree? And two local students pull a prank that lands them in handcuffs, but should the South Iredell High Schoolers be charged with felonies? Two local high school students facing felony charges tonight after a senior prank prompted an evacuation from South Iredell High School. Shannon, Farrell, and Lakia Hall are charged with hoax by false bomb in a public building and obstruction of justice. The girls are accused of putting alarm clocks inside an empty locker with a class of 2015 note inside. They are both out of jail on bond tonight. Our question of the evening, should the girls be facing felony charges? Let's take it to our panelists, the educators. Matt Harris from the Matt and Ramona Show on 107.9 The Link, FoxSports.com writer Brett Jensen, and Mecklenburg County GOP Chairman Curtis Watkins. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Matt, what do you think? Does the punishment fit the crime?
No.
Is there a crime?
Well, that's the big question. Is there a crime? It was a stupid, lame prank. I think we can all agree on that. But a felony, you're going to ruin these kids' lives because they did something dopey, which a lot of kids do at that age. And the way we understand it, the way I understand it, is that they weren't...
Tell us how you understand it.
They weren't trying to pretend it was a bomb.
No, they
were
just were setting the alarm clocks to cause an annoyance. Like they were going to go off and people couldn't find them.
Right, that's a big part of the story. Because when it first came out, it was like they were pretending it was bombs.
Right.
So they were just trying to be annoying.
Right.
And it kind of went sideways. So no, it shouldn't be a felony. Just dopes.
People feel really, really passionate about this. I've seen people arguing on both sides of it, Brett, saying, yes, they should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Others saying, are you kidding? This was just a teen prank that wasn't well thought out.
If being stupid were a felony, there'd be very few people on the streets.
That's very true.
And so, I mean, the problem was not the alarm clocks, but it was when they started changing their own locks. They put their own personal locks on these lockers so people couldn't get in. So they put all these personal locks on the lockers. Then you hear the ticking inside and you're going, what are you supposed to think? So I understand why they're being charged with all this stuff. A bomb hoax and all that. Yeah, I get that. You have to be safe. Because all of a sudden there's these strange locks on these lockers, and you're hearing ticking inside.
But they found out that they weren't bombs, Curtis, that they were just alarm clocks.
But not until after they got in there, right?
Yeah. Right, but they don't file charges before they find out. They file charges afterwards.
But they cleaned out the entire school because they thought it might be a bomb.
A felony?
Because they couldn't get in the locker because they put their own locks in there.
Felonies?
I understand that.
Regardless of how they approach it, it should not be a felony.
Right.
I mean, let's think about this. If you're going to start charging teenagers for doing stupid stuff and giving them felonies, then your court systems are just going to be clogged. I mean, there's just really no reason to go that far.
I'd still be in jail.
It's disturbing that one of the...
That doesn't surprise me.
And you should be after tonight's show. It's disturbing that the father knew and didn't catch on to why this was a bad idea.
Tell them, hey, you might want to rethink this.
Right, we're going to think this. And, you know, I think they had to react the way that they did, but... we kind of overreact now because all the things that have gone on.
It'll never continue as a felony. It'll be brought down. It'll be a misdemeanor.
You got to start high and then negotiate down to something less, because it should. I think most people agree it should be something less.
There's a picture of one of the girls today being escorted by a law enforcement official, and I think she has handcuffs on. But it's like the most depressing photograph.
I'm okay with that. I have zero problem with that. Zero problem.
The embarrassment.
Yes, absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
You got to show the other people, the other kids, that this is a serious thing. Don't do this, dummies. And so I'm okay with her being locked away in handcuffs.
But we all know teenagers are notorious for not thinking through the consequences of doing
their brains are not fully developed.
They're not, and they just did not really think about what they were going to do. Yeah. No comment. They did not think all the way through what was happening and what they were doing, and so it's just a stupid prank, and that's.
But I'm okay with them.
And what about the father who actually knew about it? I mean, couldn't he in some weird way be charged with something?
Yeah, Matt just made that point.
Yeah,
the fact that he thought it was actually
aiding
funny,
and abetting or something like that.
He thought it was funny.
But I'm sure he didn't didn't think through.
This is you're gonna have a lot to say about this too. Remember my one-on-one interview with Cam Newton last week?
Of course, it was great.
Yes. Well, tonight it's gaining attention on a much larger scale as national media continues to criticize Cam for this comment. Take a listen.
You have been called the NFL's greatest talent and also its greatest unknown. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely not. And I say this with the most humility, but I don't think nobody has ever been who I'm trying to be. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's had the size, nobody's had the speed, nobody's had the arm strength, nobody's had the tangibles that I've had. And I'm not saying that to say that, you know, I'm a one-on-one type of person that this league will never see another. No, I'm not saying that. And hear me out. I'm just saying that so much of my talents have not been seen in one person.
All right, so the Dan Patrick Show talked about it today. The His and Hers Show on ESPN. NBCSports.com has written about it. ESPN, their blog, sportingnews.com, NFL.com.
Goes on and
it goes on.
on.
Cat Scratch Reader.
Right, I'm sorry, who was the first national publication to write about it? Who was that? Okay.
Write about it.
Yeah, I wrote about it last week.
Did
you really?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
And then everyone sees the story and they start piling up. Oh, Cam Newton says all this.
Yeah.
And thanks to her interview.
But is Cam being unfairly criticized?
Absolutely
or is
not.
This
Absolutely not unfair.
We know what he was trying to say.
What was he trying to say?
Yeah,
That he has all of these physical attributes that have not been necessarily seen in one player, and that he wants to live up to that.
Let me
I've rendered the speech.
let me give a different perspective then, because I clearly I know where you guys are going.
Just gonna bash Newton.
I don't think he was wrong. I think Cam, if you actually think about the things he's saying, he's right. You haven't seen anybody like him before. There isn't somebody like Cam.
I wrote about this. I wrote about this last week. There are people who have been of equal size, with equal arm strength, and who've actually been faster.
Who?
There were like 4 or 5 of them that were that size.
I've heard people say Donovan McNabb. No, Donovan's shorter.
Not at all.
Okay.
Donovan was shorter, but there were several quarterbacks. I listed them like 4 or 5 last week that had ran for as many yards, you know, like really like 600-700 yards in a season. That were 6'4", 260 pounds. I mean, there have been very large quarterbacks.
It doesn't matter. The guy can't be bragging like this when he stinks. Okay, he doesn't stink.
That's the thing.
He doesn't stink. I'm exaggerating.
Come on now.
He doesn't stink.
He's
but here's the
below
point.
average.
You can't. I want my quarterback.
Statistically speaking.
My wide receiver, my offensive, they can talk smack whatever they want.
Okay.
I want my quarterback to be the class of the organization.
So what do you want your quarterback to say? I just hope to be mediocre. That's really what I want to be.
You know, you can say I strive to be great, but I'm not there yet.
So he's not very eloquent in the way he says
I won't quit
things.
until I get a ring. I'm not. I know I'd love to be in this.
He said all those things.
He's just not a one-on-one type player.
Things, and everybody focuses on one comment when he didn't say it exactly the right way.
He was saying he's basically the best that there is. And he's always
I agree with you, Matt. I agree with Matt totally, because he knows what he's saying. He came out straight out of the chute saying that he wanted to be the icon and the entertainer. He came right out of the chute saying the rest of the players need to pick up their performance like I do when he was a rookie, because I'm not used to losing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another.
Some guys just won't let it go.
All right,
here's
Matt,
a quick point.
You get the final point on this.
Quick point. There are people with way lesser skills and size and speed, but they're better than him. So you can say how awesome you are.
Statistically, you're talking.
Physically and everything, but it doesn't matter until you show me some rings and you show me that you're Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, any of those people.
All right. Well, just remember we had it first.
Bam.
A week ago.
Superstar.
Yeah.
And I wrote it first.
And Brett wrote it first.
Superstar.
FoxSports.com writer Brett Jensen. Pacsun is waving a white flag after this T-shirt sparked patriotic outrage over the Memorial Day weekend. And Move Over Boys, the girls, are making a league of their own. How elementary school kids are making athletic equality their #1 goal. First up in tonight's Edge on the Clock, Pacsun is waving a white flag after the internet denounces one of its T-shirt designs featuring the American flag. The company is pulling this shirt with an upside-down Old Glory from its inventory and has issued an apology after someone posted the picture online, calling it a disgrace to veterans. The upside-down flag typically represents distress.
I did not know that. I did not know that, and I'm sure any kid buying that did not know that. And it's also a picture of a flag. It's not really a flag.
Right.
And if you did a cartwheel, it would be up every other time. It would be the right side. So you can think of it that way. But you know what they should be more embarrassed by?
What?
Pacsun. They reveal the...
Didn't they used to be Pacific Sun?
I think they did.
Okay, they changed
like
it
skater
'cause they're cool,
guys.
yeah.
Well, now it's really cool. Now this is what they should be embarrassed about. Kylie and Kendall Jenner's summer collaboration hits the Pacsun stores today.
Oh.
Now that's much more
I
embarrassing.
feel bad for those girls now. They're going through a lot. They got a lot on their plate.
Oh, please.
All right, dozens of Utah girls took one big step toward athletic equality on the football field this past weekend, maybe. America's first tackle football league for girls made its debut Saturday. The league already has one celebrity player, 12-year-old Sam Gordon, who became a football sensation at age 9 when her dad posted her football highlights online. She outran a guy, and everyone went crazy because how could a girl ever beat a guy?
That is ridiculous.
That is kind of silly.
You're just making that up. That didn't really
That
happen.
was sarcasm, by the way.
Well, to be fair, that boy had one leg. Just kidding.
Look, knowing what we know now about concussions,
Yeah.
why would you want your daughter to, and that girls get more concussions, whether they report them more or they are physically more prone to them, we don't know. But girls statistically get more concussions. Why would you want your daughter playing tackle football?
Well, they only going to play for a couple of years and have no hope of ever playing again. So they've banged up a couple of concussions a couple of years. We need a few more ditzy blondes out there.
Let them play.
The goal
I'm kidding. It's terrible
is
and
to
tragic.
have a professional
not gonna
women's
happen. That's not
league.
They do. It's called the Lingerie Football League.
Yeah, lingerie football
Yeah, you're
league.
right.
It's not going to happen. Not in our
awesome.
lifetime.
But it's not tackle.
I want to be their beat writer.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I know what kind of. Never mind. It was somewhere with the beat word, but I decided not to.
Johnny Depp's dogfight continues. How long the superstar could go to jail for smuggling his 2 dogs into Australia.
We never go out of style. We never go out of style. You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt.
In celebrity edgity, Johnny Depp and his troublemaking terriers may have left Australia, but the superstar still faces prison time for failing to declare his imported pooches. Depp, who is filming the latest Pirates of the Caribbean, because we need another one, down under, slipped the pets into the country illegally, avoiding Australia's strict animal quarantine law. He now faces up to 10 years behind bars and a $340,000 fine. And just days after TLC announced they were pulling 19 kids and counting from their current lineup, several advertisers have revealed that they are following suit. Payless Shoes, General Mills, and Choice Hotels, just to name a few, have all decided that they will remove their ads from future Duggar-related programming.
Good.
Another interesting note, I don't know if you remember, but back when Jim Bob Duggar was running for U.S. Senate in 2002, they asked him about his position on rape, incest, and the threat to mother's health, and he said rape and incest represent heinous crimes and as such should be treated as capital crimes.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting now.
But then he went, except for me.
His son.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's ridiculous. He knew about it, the dad, when he said that statement.
Well, this was before. This was before everything happened with Josh Duggar.
Oh, well, he didn't tell anybody right away when it happened.
Correct.
Because they would have had to kill him, of course, according to what he believed in.
Theoretically.
He would have had a capital crime.
The world according to Jim Bob Duggar, yes.
How'd that guy even run for anything? That's the amazing thing.
Because he had a name like Jim Bob.
That's true. And how do you have time when you got 40 million kids?
Why
are
they famous? I don't even know why. I understand they have a
1,000
TV
kids.
show, but it's
They have a ton of
19 kids.
children.
19, that's
Yeah.
19 kids.
That's why.
It's got to be
19?
canceled.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Do you have 19 kids?
I do not.
Well, there you go.
People feel strongly about this, though. Some people saying,
No,
I
you have to
can't
have
believe
20.
this is still in the news. Other people saying it needs to be in the news because we hear so often about sexual assault victims who are silenced
Well, and
or
they're
made to feel
silenced by
embarrassed.
a lot of conservative religious types. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't want to get in trouble. I don't care. They don't openly talk about these
You
things.
see the look in my eye?
So, yeah.
Danger, danger.
See where we're going here?
You know,
or
you've
you
had
pull that
church
thread?
leaders and you've had people in the church get in trouble with this sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Hey,
and I think it's because sometimes they're
I
not
think
open to
liberals
talking
take their
about this.
share of heat for the same issues, though.
Yeah, let's not throw conservatives or Christians under the bus for that matter. This is really a societal problem.
No, there's
People
a
on
special
either
case.
side of the spectrum, the extremes on either side of the
I'm talking
spectrum
about
who
extreme.
throw stones, it's typically
Extreme.
yes.
I'm just sitting here.
extreme.
He meant to say people on either side.
No, extreme sides of any argument.
There's more edge, including the headlines and forecast, and another very controversial story about conservatives when we come back.
Yeah, good point. All rocks together.
I'm WCCB News at 10 anchor Will Kennedy with the night's last chance headlines. A trial date is set for a Mecklenburg County school nurse supervisor accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband. Jury selection in the Fatia Davis trial will begin June 15th. Several suspected members of the notorious MS-13 gang will remain in jail. 16 of nearly 40 suspects charged last week faced a judge today. None were given bond. And the city of Charlotte's closing in on a solution for a $22 million budget deficit. A council straw vote approved a plan to increase property taxes.
It's going to rain. Back to you.
Thank you, Greg. All right, so there's an article out there right now called What Liberals Still Don't Understand About Fox News, written by a conservative Bruce Bartlett writer, where he talks about how Fox News is actually damaging to the Republican Party. What say you, GOP chairman?
I think that's absolutely absurd. I mean, to say that a program that comes on TV that delivers news and other kinds of programming and talk shows is ruining an entire brand is absolutely missing the whole point. When there's a conservative message, where there's a message about values, people resonate with that. They don't worry about Fox News. You know who worries about Fox News? Liberals.
Let me tell you this, Curtis Watkins, 45%, according to a Pew survey from 2012, 45% of O'Reilly viewers and 55% of Fox viewers self-identify as independent or Democrat.
Right.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
It is amazing.
And they're watching to complain.
It's the Howard Stern effect. Those who hate him listen more than those who like him.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Good night.